a couple of other mini projects as I get set to put the bike back together and enjoy it for on the road for another week or so, is this front mounting bracket that's meant to hold the front fairing in place. Takes 2 bolts, one there and one there. Now the bad news is, because the fairing's been taken on and off more than a few times, these holes are completely stripped out because it's cheap, crappy metal. One option is I reach underneath here with a nut every time I want to reattach the fairing. The other option is I just cut it out like a tumor. And I don't feel so bad about doing that because the fairing is held in by 8 screws from the back and the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think 8 screws to hold on a 2-pound piece of plastic, and even handling the vibrations and bumps is going to be fine. So off it comes. It's actually part of the bracket holds on the horn, so I'm just going to make a cut here with the grinder, or maybe here where it's safer. The other mini thing I want to do is adjust the rear brake. I don't know if they attempt to do this in the factory, but the rear brake, under the hardest braking I can do, I cannot get it to skid the tire, which means I'm not getting the maximum braking effect that I really can use while I'm driving around in traffic in Thailand. So I'm going to give that an adjustment and take care of that front bracket. Be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, here we are. Now, as probably all one of you were screaming at me about this bracket, it turns out that it's actually 2 separate pieces. This bracket was mounted here. I didn't immediately see that because I had a zip tie holding some wires in, so I simply, well, first I got my grinder all prepped and I put a towel in front of my TV, and then I went to do it and I realized I could just unbolt it. So job done, no worries, everything's good. Now as for the brake, what I did was I tightened it up about, maybe about 3/8 of an inch. I got some extra threads on there. And then I did a test, and I could hear as the wheel went around that it was just grabbing the brake pad a little bit. As I did a test, I could hear it going like that. So I slowly backed off until I wasn't getting any dragging on the brake, and the brake handle feels very good. And then I also put a backing nut on here so that this wouldn't loosen off. So a couple little mini projects. 10 minutes later, I'm a happy boy. All right.